Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video where we are going to be ranking quite a lot of different products from absolute fail to new holy grail, and there are some losers. I'm looking at the loser bin over here. There are some things in this video I can tell you right now, we are going to be seeing at least a few of these products in the worst of 2023. One of them I'm questioning how anyone likes it because it's so bad. And if you haven't been here before, if this is the first one of these videos you look at, basically every month I do a collected haul where I show you all the things that I added to my collection, and then about a month later I do a video like this where I get back and tell you after trying these things out in different ways, so how do I actually feel about them, giving you my final verdict on these items. I'm also super excited because this video is sponsored by HelloFresh. I am one big HelloFresh fan and we are getting into my favorite season with HelloFresh, which is fall. HelloFresh always has in-season ingredients when you pick from the recipes, and I know myself during fall time, harvest season, there are so many yummy recipes with some of my favorite ingredients, and it's also something that keeps HelloFresh fresh because there are 40 plus recipes to choose from every week, and every week is different and every season is different. So now you get more fall appropriate recipes, which are like yummy stews, and also some really easy recipes because I don't know about you, but this is one of the most stressful times of the year for me. There are so many things that are going on, so many projects that are starting up, and there are so many holidays around the corner. I just really do not have time to plan for dinner, shop for dinner, cook dinner. It just takes too much time. And with HelloFresh, they also have so many easy and quick recipes where you can get dinner on the table in about 15 to 20 minutes. And I always try to pick at least one of those to have in like my back pocket for that evening during the week where me and my husband just do not have time for anything like too advanced. And right now we're actually having guests staying here with us, which is super fun. So not only can HelloFresh be such a nice way of just, making it easy in your everyday to-day life, these are nice restaurant quality dishes that are definitely fancy and tasty enough to be sharing with your guests as well. I've been sharing these meals with pretty much everyone in my family who's ever come to visit me, and everyone has agreed that these are really, really tasty recipes. And like I said, you get to pick your recipes yourself. Every week you get 40 plus recipes on the HelloFresh website or on the app. You go on and basically it's like picking from a menu, but then you cook the meals yourself. You can look at the different ingredients, the different dishes. Sometimes you can swap out a protein for something else, or vegetarian, pescatarian, easy, quick recipes, something for everyone. And then you pick the ones you want and they will ship the ingredients to your door pre-measured with the recipe on a very easy to understand recipe card with pictures. I love that there are pictures because we always refer back to the pictures when we're wondering, is it supposed to look like this? I also will say I've never failed a HelloFresh recipe. They just have really tasty, easy recipes, and I love them as much the day that we're cooking them as if we save them for the day after and just heat them up for lunch as well. I've been with HelloFresh for years and years, and I don't intend to stop. I am one happy HelloFresh customer. So for me and my husband, the couple that doesn't really love going to the grocery store and that doesn't really love doing like the meal planning, this has been a way for us to save money instead of going out or instead of doing takeout, and also more, let's be honest, healthy options. So for us, this has just been such a hit. So go to hellofresh.com and use the code Angelica16 for 16 free meals plus free shipping. Offer is for new subscriptions only and varies by plan across 9 boxes. That's code Angelica16 at hellofresh.com for 16 free meals plus free shipping. I will leave all the info down in the description box, and if nothing else, click the link and go into their menu and check out the different options. Like I said, it's like visiting a very tasty restaurant where you just get so many options to choose from. So thank you HelloFresh for sponsoring the beginning part of this video. You can check the description box down below and click on the link to get some more info, or you can scan the QR code that's been on the screen during this time. So let's get into the rankings. Usually when I leave a bad review, I feel a little mean because I don't want to rain on anyone's parade. Like, a lot of people put a lot of work into creating a product that they hope that people love. But what's up with these Merit eyeshadows? Why are they so bad? And why do I see people loving them? This when I see people loving these, it makes me realize how different we all have preferences when it comes to eyeshadows. I have it in Viper, and you saw me using this in one of my videos, and it looked sad. That's how I want to describe these products. These products are just sad. And the fact that they did this absolutely stupid, like, ad campaign for this, where they were like, oh, we've like saved everyone from bad and like annoying and just hard eyeshadows, and then they released this. I don't even want to call it mediocre. It's not mediocre, it is sad. This is the I think brun, because this is the brun. This is called brun, which is the Swedish word for brown. These are all the things I hate with cream eyeshadows. They are tuggy and hard to blend. They are dry and they dry down too quickly. They're also sheer and you can't build on them. Plus they crease. All of that. You at least think that you go through all that hassle to get it on the eyes, and it looks mediocre at best. At least with that kind of a dry, tuggy consistency, you're like, at least these are going to be put. At least these are going to stay on my eyes, and all of that effort is going to amount to, you know what it's going to amount to? 30 minutes of mediocre eye, and then it's 30 minutes of absolute crease city. Who are these for? Because I see people that are like, oh, it's like the no makeup sheer wash of color on the lid. I get that, but these are bad. These are tuggy and sheer and patchy and creasy, and they're just, the only thing that's nice with this is the packaging. I truly think that this is one of the worst products I've tried since I started reviewing products, and the fact that people love these leave me mystified, because I just don't understand what universe we are living in where we can have such wildly different experiences with this product that I can only describe as sad. Next, I'm actually going to put two mascaras at the same point, like at the same position, and I don't like either of these, and makes me feel sad. I got both of these. Merit was sent to me in PR. These were sent to me in PR. For me, I know some people are like, oh, you only like it because you got it for free. No, listen, if it's bad, it's bad. And for me, these are not my favorite mascaras. This is the What's Up mascara. They just released a highlighter that's beautiful, but this mascara wasn't for me. This is what the brush looks like. It has like a comb on one side and something for the bristles on one side. This doesn't give me what I want, which is a bend, and I want like the curl, and I want the length, and I didn't feel like this gave me that at all. I didn't like how my lashes look with that. And this one is the LYS Lash Confidence. This one is an extremely big, like straight up fat caterpillar applicator, and for all of that, I just feel like my lashes look, again, sad. They don't look anything to warrant this kind of an applicator at all. I don't like it at all, honestly. I don't think it looks... The only thing this does is make me get mascara on my lids. I actually have one more mascara. I can put this here as well because I didn't like it either. Oh, here it is. The Ciate mascara. This is the Wonder Wand. Again, it is a big applicator, and I don't think for me this does anything for my lashes. I actually think that the bigger the oh my god, this hair is annoying me. Was it annoying you too? Because it was annoying me. I actually feel like the bigger the applicator, the less I like the mascara, because the only thing I can focus on, because I have small features. I have a small face on a big head, I know. I'm like a caricature of myself. The only thing I can focus on when the wand is this big is not poking my cheeks, not poking my like eyeshadow. I just cannot do anything with my lashes. So none of these mascaras are my favorites, but I am going to be talking about mascara that I actually really do like, and I think it's the most affordable of these as well, which shows that sometimes expensive isn't better. Can we also talk about the Lottie London stamp liner? I don't remember the last time. I did have a video where I was using a bunch of these Ciate and Lottie London, and also Jensa that we're going to be talking about. This didn't work for me. Honestly, it just looked super, super sad. I think that if you don't have a lot of hoods and folds, because I'm about to turn 40, I do have a lot of hoods and folds, like gravity just does its job basically with time. I got stuck in a fold and one of my wings just looked like a mistake. And I just started laughing so hard. I even had to cut out the part where I was like laughing so hard because it just looked so horrible. I really don't think that this is a good product. And honestly, these stamp liners, I feel like they only work if you do not have any hoods and folds and like, no, crevices. For me, that was a no-go. And I was just like, I can't believe this is what I'm stuck with. That video was a hoot. I tried a couple of the Grease and Makeup Revolution items, and overall I thought it was okay, but this product I actually don't like the quality of, and this is the Grease and Revolution lipstick in Sandy. I feel, it smells like nothing, I feel like this feels like a cheap lipstick. It is a cheap lipstick, but this feels like a cheap lipstick, and there are so many good drugstore options that you could be buying. There's no reason for you to be buying this one. The component is cute and the color was okay, but it feels waxy and a little tuggy, and honestly it just feels like a cheap formula, which is probably what it is. But again, you could be spending your money on something else that's actually doesn't feel like that. Another thing that I don't necessarily think is a bad product, but I don't understand with this applicator. Okay, here's me. Okay, this is the Mega Hold Laminate Brow Gel by BH Cosmetics. It comes, how do I open this? In a, well, you can see how mine looks. In like a lip gloss formula. There has got to have been a mistake at the factory, right? There has got to have been a mistake at the factory. And they just ended up with this applicator, and they're just like, don't act like it's not there and nobody will comment on it. But listen, there's an elephant in this room and I'm gonna point it out. This one has a faulty applicator. This is not a lip gloss, it's an eyebrow lamination gel. And it's weird. The lamination gel, it's not the hardest one I've encountered. That's what she said. But it's okay. But this packaging just makes it pointless, honestly. It's messy and weird and just clearly a mistake, right? So the next thing on my list is this Melt Glazed Skin Sheer Finishing Powder. Oh my god, I have fluff flying around me. I'm actually wearing this today. By the way, I did film this look. This is my member exclusive tutorial for this month. It should already be live on my channel. I will leave a pinned comment where you can find this look and like what I'm wearing. I'm wearing all of my Hella palettes on my eyes, which are my collaboration palettes with Oden Cosmetics, and I'm so excited about this look, and of course super excited about my collab. If you did in any way support my collab, just even liking the picture on Instagram, that's also support. Watching my videos, that's also support. Thank you so much. It really does mean a lot. But yeah, if you're a member of my YouTube channel, this video, this tutorial is the tutorial for this month. This powder, I did try and use it today. This is what I've learned about this powder. I have mine in medium. The sheen is a little bit more cool. And I almost feel like if I finish my face with this as a finishing powder, because it is a finishing powder, my face almost gets a slight gray cast. I do have a natural golden undertone and I get a little bit of a gray cast. But if I put this on and then go in with bronzer and highlighter and powder, it gives my face a little bit of a slight glow, but I'm able to just get rid of that gray cast. I wish that I could buff everything out with this on top, but it just gives me a little bit of a gray cast. But I don't know how the other colors are. I only have tried medium. If you have a little bit more of a cooler undertone, you might like this. For me, I just thought that it was weird that it gave that little gray cast, and I really have not been enjoying it. I have two things from Yensa here, and I don't necessarily know if I think that any of these are bad. I've actually seen comments from you saying that you love these products. This is why I don't love these products. This is the Essential Glow Tone Up Primer. This is very dewy. This is it almost is hydrating to the point that it keeps you hydrated throughout the day, and it almost glows through my powder and through my foundation. If you have dry skin, I am sure that a primer like this is gonna keep you looking hydrated and fresh and just, I don't know, not crusty throughout the day. But if someone like me that has a combo oily skin, this just ends up making all of my foundations look greasy and dewy, and for me this is just too hydrating to work for me. So I think that this is probably better if you have dry skin. And this Yensa concealer, this is the Super Serum Silk Concealer. This is one of those very creamy, thicker hydrating concealers. It is full coverage, but this creases, I don't know if you can see, but I have a lot of like small fine lines under my eyes. Like I said, I'm about to turn 40. So for me, this creases because it's too heavy and creamy under my eyes. I don't necessarily have problems with a dry under eye. What I have problems with is a very fine under eye skin that has like easy, like it's a little crinkly. It's a little crinkly, I have a lot of fine lines, and this one just creases on me. Even when I set it with a lot of powder, it just doesn't really work out for my undertone. I also wanted to mention the Lottie London Diamond Bounce Illuminating Highlighter. This is like almost like a putty cream to powder highlighter, but it is a sheer glittery highlighter. I don't use that. I don't now. Ask me 5 years ago and I would have been like, oh, glitter highlighter, say less. And now I'm like, maybe not. But if you are looking for something like that, slightly similar to the Diamond Bomb by Fenty, which also I never bought because I've used a friend of mine's and I didn't love it on me. It's just not what I'm looking for right now. This could be a more affordable option to that. I also want to mention this one, Give Beauty Plumping Lip Balm. I have mine in LOL, LOL. It's very plumping. It smells almost like a creme catalan. It smells very nice, like vanilla pudding, but it is very plumping. More plumping than some other plumping products that I've tried. And I don't like a burning, stinging sensation, but if you love that, I think you will like this one because it is very much that. Very much that, just not for me. It looks beautiful on the lips though. This is the Unearthly Cosmetics Get Groovy Highlighter Duo. This is part of the summer collection. I have the satin lipsticks. They are so beautiful. The gloss is so beautiful. This is the only thing in the collection that wasn't for me. Colors are beautiful, but again, they're a little bit more on the sparkly, like wet side. And I prefer something that has a sheen, like a sheen instead of a more visible sparkle. Again, this is just my preference changing. A couple of years ago, I loved that. Now I'm more like, I don't know. And I feel the same. I think both of these, honestly. I have the, oh my god, these are so hard to open. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Quad. This is the Pillow Talk Luxury Palette in Pillow Talk. And this is the Quad from Glow Wish. Honestly, I don't think there's a problem with the formula of any of these. Of course, this packaging is so much prettier. I love a quad, but the reason why none of these are going to be my favorite quad is because now that I have them and now that I've used them, I realized that none of these have that perfect quality that I like with a quad, which is that I can do my entire eye look in different ways. This one is lacking something that's deep enough for me. This one is lacking something that's light enough for me. And I also don't like that the only shimmer in this palette is a dark, almost browny green with gold shimmers. I just think that neither of these quads are, in my humble opinion, the color combinations that I'm looking for. I feel like there was a little controversy with this collection. This is the Alma Viva collection by Kaleidos, and I am going to be mentioning the blushes and the quads here. I don't think there's anything wrong. I think this is the darkest of the blushes. I don't think there's anything wrong with these blushes. This is the one that's Angel Wings. This is too light to be anything on me, just personal preference. I just think that the color selection was a little bit of a miss for a collection that you send out to your international PR list, because they knew, I understand if they're trying to catch a trend that's going on in parts of Asia right now. But when you send out this collection to your to your international PR list, and you know that quite a bunch of those people are medium, tan, deep, very deep, you know that you're sending out a collection that most of those people will not be able to use. Because I've seen people with those skin tones try to use it, and most of them have just not, have all said that these are not their type of colors. And I think that quads, beautiful quality, and yes, they're not dupes to their quads from before, but they're similar enough to the point where you could question yourself, would you not like to do something a little bit more different for your next launch? So For me, this left me wanting more shades, different finishes, different kind of concepts. So I'm just hoping that we're gonna see something just a little bit different from Kaleidos in the future. Not that this is bad quality or that I don't like Kaleidos. These are amazing quality. They're just a little bit of a letdown for what they are. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. And I'm also gonna mention something here that this is one of my favorite brands, but this release just isn't for me at all, and that is the Gourmande Cosmetics Forget Me Not palette. This is an eye and face palette, and it is very neutral, of course, because it is a face and eye, but it's also a little bit more cool tone leaning. I feel like most of these shades are leaning either neutral or cool tone, and I would have probably gotten a lot of use of this if I was still doing freelance, working as a freelance makeup artist, but I'm not. These are more smooth than some of her shimmers or some of her highlighters that she's had before. More of a smooth formula, works perfectly on brides. Just, I will not get use out of this. What am I supposed to do with this palette? It just isn't something that I love, but I'm gonna see if there are people around me that might have use out of this, because I feel like this is one of those palettes that if you have a smaller collection and you're into contouring and you like neutrals, this is the kind of palette that I'm sure you will get a lot of use out of. Like, I have people in my life that still have the contour palette from Anastasia, and like 4 out of 6 shades are panned. So I understand the audience, I just realized that it's not me. This is the Grease and Makeup Revolution collection, and this is the blush in Rizzo. I've actually been using this quite a lot just to try and figure out, like, how do I feel about this product? Why do I like it? Why do I not think it's perfect? And it is a little bit more of a heavier cream. It's not super emollient, but I can pick this up with a brush. That's been my favorite, to pick it up with a brush and put it on my cheekbones, and it is a matte, like it dries down matte. It's not super sheer, so you can really build it up if you want it to really show on the skin. I don't think that it is a bad formula. It definitely works, but it's definitely not like a super sophisticated and like refined formula. Oh, I feel like I'm so warm. I'm so warm. I know a lot of people have been loving this Secure the Sweat primer from One Size, and I've been using this a lot, and I've been trying to like put my finger on why I'm not reaching for this more, and it's because I don't necessarily think that it's that good at keeping the oils at bay like some others are. I feel like this is decent. The reason why I like others more, I like the Glow Recipe Strawberry Drops more, is that this one takes some time to like dry in and set in, and if you don't let it dry in, it might peel, or it might like make your makeup separate on top. And I also don't feel like it's as good at keeping your oils at bay as some other products. Like today, you can see I'm glowy here. I have powdered several times around my nose, and I'm still more oils than I would like is peeking through with this primer, and I'm just like, I don't 100% understand why, because I'm using one of my favorite foundations of life, which is the Fenty Eavesdrop, and it should work better than this. So I just think there are other mattifying primers that work better than that one. I have used 2 different lip oils from the drugstore. This is the BH Cosmetics Juicy Gossip Lip Oil. This one smells amazing, but the applicator is very small. This one is the mango one, and this one is the watermelon one. The packaging is beautiful, the smell amazing, they look beautiful on the lips, but the applicator is very small and it doesn't pick up enough product, so you have to dip back in, which is a shame, because otherwise I think that the product is fairly decent, honestly. And I've also tried the Juvia's Place lip oil, and this one is in Sweet Orange, and it is orange, but it doesn't really smell like orange, which is confusing to me because all of these lip oils are named after different fruits, and they super barely smell like anything. And I think that that is a miss when you're naming them after fruits and all of that, because these smell lovely, and also this is a little bit more on the thinner side, which there's nothing wrong with that. I just prefer something that's a little bit more plushy. So overall, both of these are decent, but there are better options. This is the Trixie Is it Trixie Cosmetics? This is the cream bronzer. I got this sent to me from another influencer that was very kind, that he sent me this shade that wasn't for him. And this is in Sunset Tina. This is... I would like it to be a little bit more emollient. You cannot, at least I can't, just draw this on my skin. It is a little bit too tuggy for that. But if I use a brush and go in and put it on my skin, it turns out looking really nice. Me personally, if you're gonna go through the effort to put it in a stick, I wanna be able to put it on my skin. Otherwise, just put it in a pan. Honestly, that's just me though. But I think that it's really nice, but I think that it could benefit from being just a smidge more emollient. This is the Grease and Makeup Revolution T-Birds palette. The packaging is atrocious. Like, it's really, really bad. And I will say, when I used this palette, I thought everything looked pretty decent. It was decent quality. This is not the BH Cosmetics quality though. At least this palette, definitely not the same formula at all, but it's decent. But I will say, if I had swatched this palette first and then used it, I might have been a little bit more... because its swatches very peculiar. I mean, probably the swatches look nice, but it's almost like they're a little emollient and sheer and buildable. But when I used them, I mean, the look turned out cute. I didn't really have any problems with it, but this is what I would say good for the price. It's good for the price. It's fairly affordable. It's definitely better than some other Makeup Revolution palettes that I've tried, but it is not, according to me, the BH Cosmetics quality. So if they have that in palettes, they at least do not have it in this one. This is the Florasis Floral Engraved Phoenix Makeup Palette. And this is a Chinese luxury makeup brand. And this is their more colorful palette. And honestly, I think the quality of this palette is really beautiful. I used this together with, I don't even remember what palette. I used this together with something else in a video. And honestly, the quality is really cute. I think that it was this one that was like a topper shade. No, I think it was this one. The mint was a topper shade. This one is a duochrome. This is a little bit more pigmented. And this orangey one here is like a sheer highlighter blush hybrid. Honestly, I think Florasis is a little bit more on the like luxury makeup aesthetics when it comes to formulas. Usually they do more buildable formulas. Usually they have a little bit more of a satin feel to them, but they're definitely good quality and the packaging is really beautiful. It's not 100% my jive, but I can't deny that the formulations of their products are usually very sophisticated. This was a product that I actually really enjoyed, and I have been using these a bit, and this is the Jones Road the lip tint. I have used two different colors. This one that is nude mauve, that is, well, a nude mauve on me. I would say it's not a nude mauve on everyone, obviously. It is like a sheer buildable lip color, but this one is not as glowy and not as like juicy on the lips as some others might be, but I still think it's pretty good. And this is the shimmery color that is Rose Mocha. Honestly, I think that these are pretty good, and from the things that I have tried from Jones Road, I did get some PR for a bit, but I don't get PR from Jones Road anymore. But I will say these lip colors are the best thing that I've tried from Jones Road Beauty. I think these are very good, and if you're looking for that sheer glowy lip color and you think that some of the ones that are available, for example the Tarte ones or the ones from what's his face Makeup by Mario, you think that those are a little bit too soft and maybe too glossy on the lips, you might like these because these have a little bit more of a consistency, like a harder consistency to them. I'm wearing this concealer today. This is the Makeup by Mario concealer, and I've been trying to figure out why I don't love it or reach for it as much as some of my other concealers. And I think that this one is a very elevated way of doing those creamier, more hydrating concealers. I mean, I even have the foundation here. I've used it for, yeah, you can see I've used it for another video. I'm having it here in front of me. I should probably put it back. But this concealer is a hydrating and a little bit more of a creamy concealer, but instead of being that thicker, creamier concealer. It has a little bit of a gel consistency that goes on really nice, spreads really nice, but it does have a tendency of being a smidge too heavy under my eyes, so it does sometimes crease on me. So I think that if you are looking for a hydrating concealer, but you're looking for something that's not as heavy duty as some other hydrating concealers, you might really like this one. It looks and wears really beautiful, but it's just slightly too hydrating under my under eyes because it tends to crease when you have a lot of fine lines. So I would say I think this is a good formulation. It's just not perfect for me. I'm looking for something that's even more liquidy. This is the Finding Ferdinand and Khaki Lip Gloss, and this is in Sparkling Limoncello. I love the scent. The scent is spot on. It is a beautiful sugary zesty lemon, which is basically what limoncello is. It's like alcohol, lemon, and lots of sugar. It smells really, really beautiful. I don't use a lot of warm sparkly glosses, but it is very balmy and nice on the lips. There is this really nice metal cap on it, and overall I think it's a pretty gloss, but I prefer a gloss that doesn't have this like warm sparkles in it, but I think the smell and the formulations of it is beautiful. This is the thing from Lotte London that I think surprised me, maybe not the most, but maybe this, I have one more thing from Lotte London that I really, really did enjoy, but this is the eyeshadow, so rude. This is the eyeshadow palette in Honeybee. This is a really nice quality eyeshadow from the drugstore, and I think that this one has a really good formulation. I was able to create a really beautiful look with this. I don't even think I have swatches of it, but honestly, if you see this, and I've heard from some people that not all of their eyeshadows are created equal, but this one, the Honeybee one, definitely a very good palette at the drugstore. If you showed me all of these formulas and said this is ABH or this is Natasha Denona, like I wouldn't believe you, because it's definitely not that. But if you told me that this was a better version of Urban Decay, or if you said that this was like Tarte, I would definitely believe you, because I feel like they're definitely better than the price tag, but maybe not like extremely great high quality shouting from the rooftops quality. But I really did enjoy working with this one, and I definitely think that if you see this at the drugstore and you like this color story, you will enjoy it. This is the Ghost Town USA palette by Nomad Cosmetics. I really like the quality of these shades. I had a lot of fun creating looks with this one. With that being said, this is a more neutral slash cool tone leading palette. It has a couple of more warmer greens here, and you know, and if you don't, now I'll tell you, my favorite when it comes to eyeshadow colors is either brights, warm colors, or just a lot of contrast. And this does not go super light. There's nothing in here that is super light. It's also not warm toned, and it's also not bright colors. So it's just a bunch of colors that I think are good quality, and I think they're nice, and I think that they were able to fix their shimmer quality with this one for sure. I think they're all really, really beautiful. It's just not perfect for me and my preferences. I really love the paper quality of this one. If you own the fall palette that they released last year, you know, that like nice luxurious matte paper quality, this is the same, and I really, really do enjoy that. So if you like this color story, if this is the kind of color story that appeals to you, I'm sure you're gonna enjoy this palette. I just knew when I opened this palette that this color story was just not gonna be perfect for me. So this is a color story thing, and it is the same with this one. This is the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. This one is gonna rank a little higher than the other one because this one has more contrast. It has one that's really light, it has one that's really dark. There's also a bunch of different shimmer formulas in here, and I did really enjoy the looks that I did with this palette. But if we're gonna be totally honest with ourselves, how much am I gonna reach for a neutral palette like this? It doesn't matter that it's amazing Natasha Denona quality, because it is. I really do think that this is amazing quality. And if you have been wanting this color story and the Natasha Denona quality, I am here to tell you this is good quality. But how much am I gonna use this one? Maybe not that much. And then you might ask, like, why did you buy it? And it's because Natasha Denona is one of my favorite brands, and I do like to review all the products. And since I know the formula as well as I feel like I do right now, I feel like I'm a good person to review the quality, to let you know whether or not this is living up to the quality. It's just the color story that's like Perfect for a lot of people, but not for me. This is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation. I have it in Punjab, and this is a really beautiful foundation, but this is not new. It's new to me, but it's not a new foundation. But the reason why I'm not ranking this higher than this, I tried the sample and then I bought the full size. This is very full coverage. And sometimes a full coverage foundation is exactly what I'm looking for, but the more I use this one, the more I realize that it's not that often that I'm like, yes, I want a full coverage foundation. It's not that often. But if you want a full coverage foundation that is a soft matte finish that lasts really long on my combo oily skin, this is definitely it. But with time, I have realized that, you know what, it's not that often that I'm looking for something full coverage. This is the Sun and the Sea by Bella Beauté bar, and this would probably have been like probably in the top 3 had it not been for that. I feel like these blues are not the exact same great quality as some of the other mattes from Bella Beauté bar, and I feel like some of these browns are just a little similar. One of these could have been very much lighter and one of these could have been very much darker, and the blues, they're not bad, but they're not as good as I know the Bella Beauté formula to be. But overall, the color story is really cool. This is a mix of purples and blues together with some neutrals, and there's some nice like lighter shades here, which is something that I really like. I just think that these are a little bit too similar, and the blues are not my favorite blues in my collection. Again, I'm a little bit picky when it comes to blues as well. Not a bad palette, but I think that Bella Beauté bar has done better palettes than this. And I don't love the shiny covers. I don't know. There's something about that. I wish it was matte. That's very much personal preference. This is the ColourPop Rock On palette. I actually really like this one. I think that this is a really nice neutral palette for me. This is the kind of neutral palette that I want, either like something like this. It's small, it's compact, it goes from light to dark, there's different finishes, and I also love that one, the C3PO, because it has yellows in it, and I love either reds and browns or yellows and browns, and it is a red here, and there are some red toned like red tone neutrals in here, and it goes really light both in a matte with sparkle in it and in a metallic, and this for me is a good neutral palette, plus the quality is nice. I think they did a good job with this one. And we also have the Get Groovy eyeshadow palette. This was in the summer mystery box. I actually did not try the other products from the summer mystery box. I put them in my giveaway pile. I'm gonna have giveaways. I'm thinking probably come December, I'm just gonna do a bunch of mystery boxes, maybe 12 days of Christmas, just so many giveaways. But I did try this one, and this is a beautiful palette, and this is the Rainbow palette by Unearthly Cosmetics, and all the shimmers are more, not necessarily multi-chromes, but they're just very impactful, sparkly shades. Some of these are very impactful, more special shades. Some are duochromes. I think there might even be more of a multi-chrome finish in here as well. But what I really like is impactful, sparkly metallics, and this is definitely that. Plus like a rainbow palette going from light to like more deeper shades, and this like very nice iridescent, like goldy, almost like a goldy peachy topper. I think this is really pretty. I think this is a very fun, small, interesting take on a rainbow palette, and I like it. I have another shade of these, but I honestly don't know where they are. But these are the Velveteen lip colors by Lisa Eldridge. And I said in a video recently how excited I am to see that like matte liquid lipsticks are coming back, but like the formulations are made more modern, more wearable. They're like trying to take the concept back, but just making it in a way that feels like better formulations. They don't crack, they don't, well, most of them, but just seeing better formulations and just a new fresh take on the whole matte liquid lipsticks. These are really beautiful. They feel moussey and light on the lips. They do dry down, but they take a little bit longer time to dry down, which probably helps with them not feeling absolutely excruciating on the lips. I will say though that all matte lips, even lipsticks and even liquid lipsticks, after a time I do feel like they're just too matte on my lips and I want to put something over. But this doesn't crack and this doesn't transfer, and it also doesn't completely dry out your lips. So if you like a matte lip, this is a very comfortable like matte formula for what it is. It's still matte though. I was a little bit worried when Kaki released her blushes with Finding Ferdinand. This one is in Aperitif, which is the bright corally orange. Almost like this would have gone good with this look. I only saved 2 colors, and I mean there's no need for me to dig into all of them, but they look so pretty. I think this is the brightest red, and then the middle brown that is Olé. And honestly, these are sheer but buildable with a sheen without feeling greasy or sticky, or without lifting your makeup or just tearing it down. You can have this on your cheeks and your cheeks will look like they have a little sheen to them without being greasy or sticky. I honestly think the formulation is pretty good. I've used this with a sponge and I've used them with a brush, and honestly, I like them both ways. Like I said, I was a little bit worried that these were going to be like that, you know, sometimes when brands are like, oh, it stays hydrating and dewy on the skin, it just means flypaper makeup and your hair just sticks to it and it just breaks down your foundation. I didn't feel like these did that, so I'm actually very surprised at how well formulated this blush is. I did not think that I was going to like this foundation. This is the foundation from REM, but I really like it. This one is in medium 2N, and honestly, I really like it. I think it works really good on the skin. I do need to, if I want it to last all day, I do need to set it down with a little bit of powder, but I feel like it wears really good. It doesn't get greasy or oily. It doesn't travel around my skin. It is a nice medium buildable like formula, and it looks healthy on the skin without looking cakey and without looking too oily, but it also doesn't look like totally matte either. It's just a really nice formulation. I really like it. I don't know what I was expecting. I didn't love the pot concealers on me. They weren't my favorite, but this foundation, I've been using it a lot. I really enjoy it. I don't know how are other people feeling about this foundation. I haven't watched a single review of them, but like, I kind of like it. Okay, so this is the mascara that I've been really enjoying, and this is from Lottie London, and this is the Super Fake Mascara. And this one, look at this brush. It's so thin and it's like small spikes, and this really delivers. It's very easy to get a curl on your lashes. It delivers a lot of like product to your lashes without making them look clumpy. I can really elongate and bend my lashes, and I honestly think that this is a really good mascara. And it's, I mean, I got it in PR from Lottie London, but Lottie London is a very affordable brand, so I'm sure that this mascara is very affordable, and I think it's great. So if you're like me and you like smaller wands and you seem to like the same kind of mascaras as me, I definitely recommend this one. I think Lottie London is available at Walmart. I'm not 100% sure. I will try and find it and link it down below. I am the biggest hypocrite on the planet Earth, but it's because I said that nobody wants these, but turns out I love them. This is the Maracuja Juicy Shift like glosses in a stick. I have it in Clementine. These have a pH adjuster in them, which I wish it didn't have, because honestly, this product, if they could just release this product without the pH adjusting, that would be amazing. It's one of those that you click up, and the difference between these and the other glosses that they have is that this is more of a jelly gloss formula. You can see here, there's no milkiness to this one. It's a very sheer color, and honestly, I would love to have this kind of a gloss formula without the pH adjusting, because it looks beautiful on the lips. But there is a little bit of that gives you a pink tint to your lips, and whatever color is to the gloss is just gonna make the pink lean in a different direction. With this one, it's of course going to look a little bit more coral because of the orange. It is a cooling sensation on the lips, so this is a cooling, plumping lip balm. These are comfortable, beautiful, and I wish we could have this sheer jelly formula without the pH thing, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I've been obsessed with this one. I really like it, and I want more colors. Yes, I'm a hypocrite. I've been using these a lot lately, and this is the Bubo? I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, and Rudy Berry. They did a collab together that is a freckle pen. I even have the packaging here to show you. I bought this after seeing both Kelly Gooch and Kaki use this, and you know what? It's a really good freckle pen. It's very easy to use. I have been enjoying it a lot. It's easy to shear out. It's easy to make them irregular. I love the ball tip at the end. overall, I just think that this is a really, really good product. And if you are looking for a freckle pen, this is a really good product. I really enjoy it, and I've been using it in conjunction with my freckle pen from Colourpop. And if I use them together, I can get this more irregular pattern that I personally really enjoy. So I'm happy I took, not the plunge, but like, I'm happy that I trusted Kelly and Khaki and ordered it. It's really good. It definitely gets its stamp of approval from me. And in the number 2 spot, I have the new lip balms from Kaleidos. They are amazing. They're such a good formulation. They are a sheer, glassy, watery formula that just feels incredibly comfortable on the lips. They are not sticky in any way, shape, or form. The colors are so good. Some are more lighter, some are more cool tone, some are more warm tone. There is some sparkly ones. There is like a gray sparkly one. Man overboard. Overall, I just think that the formulation is beautiful. I've swatched all of them, and some might think that they're too similar, but I think there are like differences enough between these ones to be something for everyone, and I would love to see them explore this formulation even more in the future with some like pinky and red ones as well, because it is a beautiful, watery, glassy formula with a sheer tint, and I would love this in like maybe even this orange or even like a wearable red. I think this formulation is spot on, and honestly, that collection that they did with those quads and the blushes, it could have just been these, to be honest, and I would have been happy. And in the first spot, I'm gonna put something that I've been talking about a lot on my channel, but I don't know if I've really told you how much I love them, and these are the Kissed by the Sun Multi-Use Cheek Glow by Iconic London. Look at that. It's like a cream to powder putty formula. This one is in Hot Stuff, and it's like a corally, like a pinky orange with a gold sheen. Absolutely stunning. And this one is in Playtime. Oh, this one is the more pink, like a pink one. You can see there is like a more glow. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's like a warm pink. Honestly, these are stunning. I have the other colors as well. Some of them are more on the highlighty. They have like a bronze, they have a champagne. They are so nice and beautiful on the cheeks. They're effortless, they're not sparkly, they're super beautiful, and they go on so nicely, and you can build them up if you want to. And I just think that these are great. And same here, I would not be sad if they were to release like 1 or 2 more colors. I feel like a lot of people would love this in like an almost like a lavender or something like that. And also if they were to release this in almost like a plummy brown, I feel like that would also work really good with this formulation. I think these are great. And I got sent these as PR, and I don't want to say I had low expectations, but I didn't really know a lot about Iconic London, but these are amazing. You can find them at a different couple of places. I will link them down below. 10 out of 10 recommend them. And I feel like I am so warm and sweaty, and I was gonna say doing away, but that's literally what's happening. I'm like melting before your eyes. I'm gonna have a lunch break. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you've tried any really good products or any duds the past month. I would love to hear about it. Thank you again, HelloFresh, for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you again in my next video. That's hopefully going to be really soon. Bye!